This is the new normal podcast.
Now, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the New Normal Podcast. You know, I am your favorite baby daddy.
That's just my baby daddy.
Who that
That's
is?
just my baby daddy.
Who that is?
Oh, so they feeling me tonight.
Nice.
Right.
I am your favorite baby daddy. I'm easy over here. You know, it's a little inside joke because, you know, last week, even though y'all didn't see that episode, but they wasn't here for me.
Nah,
They wasn't.
Not
But
big.
they wasn't.
so let me introduce my crew right here. So, you know, to the left of me is, you know, our light-skinned T-bone steak over here. You know, some people call her Gina. You know, we call her food bag.
Like Bay. I look like Bay.
Yes. Health
Peace
well.
and love, y'all.
Yeah.
This
I was
nigga
up.
never finger snaps with us. You know what?
You know.
Why are you even here?
You dancing on the
Why are you even here?
Anyway, and then all the way over there, you know, our social butterfly. Oops. You know. She's not a baller. But she is but one day she will be. One day she will. One day this will be.
Because
Yeah.
I was getting flashbacks of last week.
Yeah,
like,
one day, you know,
man.
she will be this. But right now, she is this. Yes.
Don't get twisted. I'm still a bowler.
Talk to him.
All right.
Exactly.
Talk that hot shit.
So savage.
Exactly.
I'm just not the bowler of the show.
Right now. Right now.
Unlike.
Right now.
No, I'm saying in comparison to.
This nigga right here.
She want a shot call, wanna be with a baller. Shot call, I can tell by.
Yes. So, you know, that's our shot call over there, you know. So, you know, we at that time where, you know, if you're sipping on something, you know, right now we all kind of trying to detox. So, you know, she got her cranberry juice. We got our waters. So, you know, but if you smoking something, popping something, you know, I'm not gonna say shooting.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna say that
No, we're not
today.
advocating
Even I just
that.
said it, but you know, if you're doing anything, you know, just sit back and, you know, relax and enjoy. So, you know, health, wealth, for self.
Yes.
So, I know as everybody could already tell by the title of the episode, we're comparing this verse battle. Fat Joe, Ja Rule. You know, starting off. Matter of fact, go to our poll question.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes, because if you guys follow us on our Instagram, The New Normal, we asked you guys about the verse battle that happened last night, Fat Joe against Ja Rule, and we asked who won. And it's crazy because just a moment ago, the poll done changed after what I told you earlier. So
Word.
now it's at 86% voted for Ja Rule and 14% voted for Fat Joe. So what is y'all consensus? Because the internet has spoken that Ja Rule done won. So what is y'all consensus over this verse battle?
Should have been 100-0.
100 who? Who's taking that 100?
Ja Rule.
Who's taking that win?
Ja Rule got it, man. He got it.
What do you think, Janelle?
Ja Rule definitely won.
Easy.
It's the rule, baby.
So we all at 100% consensus right now. We all agree that Ja took that home. Like, Fat Joe, what happened, baby? Like, your category
He just didn't. His hits.
didn't hit.
His street bangers
didn't hit, though.
his street bangers couldn't match up to the commercial successes of Ja Rule's. You know what I mean? It wasn't like Jada Kiss versus Fab where like Fab thought that his commercial hits were going to overcome Jada street hits. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw what Fat Joe was trying to do.
Right.
He was trying to take a page out of Jadakiss.
Right.
But
But it didn't.
yeah, like Jadakiss, the thing about it was when you look at the Jadakiss verse battle, right? Well, don't even look at that one. Look at the Lox versus Dipset.
Right.
What was the crowd? what was majority of the crowd? It was men, right?
The niggas.
Yeah.
The niggas was out.
Yeah, you know.
Rags and bandanas.
Exactly, right? So they knew what they was playing their crowd towards, right?
Right.
I didn't know what the crowd was like in the beginning of the Fat Joe job, right? Because I'm like, it could go either way. Until the second half intermission, and when the DJ started playing that R&B music, and I heard all the ladies singing along, I was like, oh my God, there's no chance. Like, there's no chance. No chance in
I
hell.
heard hella ladies.
So going back to how it started, like that very first initial song, because you know it'd be like that first song to set the mood and to set the tone. Do you feel like they started off right? Because to me, I feel like Jod started off perfectly with the DMX.
Yeah.
I feel like that was perfect. That was the great way to start. Fat Joe, I don't know.
That Flojo song, it was Flojo, right? Flojo he started off with. That was a good one for him, because that was both their introductions to the game.
I feel you. I feel you.
I gave that one a tie, actually.
I feel you. I'm gonna say this. I like the only reason why I like the first record, you know why?
Oh, because he messed up Piscataway.
Exactly.
That
was it. That was it.
Shout out Fat Joe for that.
Yeah, that was it.
Word.
After that, I was like, damn, Joe.
Word.
Like, all right, but I felt like, all right, Joe was just trying to set him up. He's trying to set him up.
All right.
But we all know what happened, you know?
Ja took over and crushed it.
Yeah. Well, I think regardless, this was a versus for the culture again, right?
Yeah, I mean, Verzuz is for the culture.
Right.
But it was a W. It was another W.
Yeah.
W.
But what do you feel like they could have done better with this verse battle?
I feel like Fat Joe could have met Ja Rule at his commercial tone. Because Ja Rule has a lot of hits for the female, and that's what he was putting out. Like, he was putting out them hits for the females. And I felt like it was kind of like street music versus the commercial, like you said earlier. And I felt like Fat Joe, in order for it to go head-to-head with Ja, he needs to be in that place of that female hits, that commercial hits. Like, Fat Joe needs to put out more of his hits, because I feel like, do Fat Joe really have hits that are not?
Can I answer that question real quick though? Because I feel like they both try to take a page out of Jada's book, right?
Yes.
And you know, Jada's book is like God right now. It's like
Yes.
the holy grail.
I was reading the comments. And somebody said that Ja Rule apparently rehearsed with Jada Kiss beforehand, because the way they was doing it was as if they try to keep that same Jada Kiss energy, that Jada Kiss aura, and bring it into this verse battle.
Well, yeah, if you model it off of Jada, you should model your performance over Jada.
Yeah.
That was Jada was MVP to this day. But go ahead.
But I feel like they was trying to take a page off of Jada and like play, like, for instance, Jada was like, I'm going to play what I'm going to play. I'm not going to go off of like, I'm not going to go off the track. I'm going to do what like I came here to do.
Right.
The only problem was, Fat Joe, you didn't see the crowd. It was 90% women out there, and they wasn't trying to hear that gangster. Yeah, read the room.
But at the end of the day, though, he had to play some of his own songs, right? He had to play some of his own songs, and most of his own songs are like the gritty street, because that's when he really rapped by himself the most.
But that's a lot of the 90s, though,
But
too.
that's what I'm saying. But he had to play that. He had to.
I think also what kept turning me off to Fat Joe was the whole fact that he kept saying Ja was playing his old music, like his old music ain't today music. But I'm like, but that's what the verses is.
Right, classics
the
are
verses
classics.
is you playing your music that put you onto the scene, that made you who you are today. So that requires you, Fat Joe, to play your old music.
But what I'll say is, the reason why Fat Joe said that was because, you know, Fat Joe was he was rapping in the 90s, he was rapping in the 2000s, and he's still rapping now, and he's still relevant.
I get that.
And he's like, yo, but the thing about it is, like, we were saying earlier, you know, there's a big difference between putting out a good okay song and putting out classics, and that's what Ja was doing.
And Ja even said it. He was like, my old song will beat your new songs any day. And which is actually facts, because some of his old songs I would play way before I play a Fat Joe executive produced or produced song. Like, I would play Ja over Fat Joe any day.
Right.
The only thing that saved Fat Joe is because I am a Remy Ma fan. Love Remy Ma.
She helped a lot.
A round of applause for Remy Ma.
Yes, I absolutely love Remy Ma. Like, before she got locked up, that was my sis. Like,
hold
I loved
on. Hold on. The comment that Janelle said earlier.
What you just said, Janelle? What you just say?
I said she looked like the bee that came in.
Oh, yes.
But no, I'm saying like life size and everything. Like she's
Yes.
like that big.
She's a life-size version
Oh my
Yo.
God.
of this bee.
Yo, that bee that came into this house.
We need
it
to
was-
post that video on our Instagram.
That's
We
like
gotta
that
post.
damn minion right
Yo,
there. It was about
I'm
the same
Black and
size.
yellow.
Yo, it was.
Black
That
and
nigga
yellow,
came
black
out with
and
that
yellow,
bee.
black and yellow,
That bee
black
came
and
out with
yellow.
some balls.
And demon wings.
That was
But-
Remy. Remy came out with
Yeah.
her bee. Like, she was
But-
represented. But I feel like, honestly, to me, she saved Fat Joe. Like, just her essence, her presence on the stage. I'm a big Remy Ma fan, so I love her. But do y'all think that, like, they had enough, like, guest appearances? Should they have more? Should they have less? What do y'all feel about that?
They had the perfect amount. And honestly, I don't know about saving Fat Joe. I would say more so she kept him a little bit more afloat than he already, you know what I mean? Because Ja brought out everybody. Except for Charlie Baltimore, you know what I'm saying? J-Lo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he brought out
Bobby Brown.
Ashanti.
And Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he brought out Lil Mo, you know, Vita, Ashanti. Come on, you know what I mean? That was good. That was good for him. That was good for the
What do you
verse,
think,
for the battle.
Janelle? Should he have more? Should they have more or less features coming out?
Well, we can agree that this versus had more features and more, special guests than any other versus has had. And I think it was tastefully done. You know what I mean? I think it was tastefully done. It was done on the right songs. I think it was done at the right time. And I think that the actual verses wouldn't have hit the same if they didn't come out.
Can I say poor Ashanti? Poor Ashanti. She had to run on both sides. Sis was like, I'm singing with Ja. I'm singing with Fat. I'm singing with Ja. I'm singing with
They was
Fat.
running the train on Ashanti for a little while.
It was holding her around.
But
but sis got her bag.
Right.
she did.
She got her
But
bag.
Right.
I'm a respectfully say it was too many features.
Why so?
I feel like if he would have just brought out like, all right, we playing hit for hit, right? So bring out Ashanti. I wanted Ashanti just to stay on
one side.
Ja's side because that's Murder Inc. You don't think of Ashanti on Terror Squad. No. Fat Joe had to bring out Remy Ma. And that's it. Those two, you could play all the other songs like they did, but you don't have to bring everybody out. And I think when he brought out, like, when he started playing Joe's song, that was cheating. Don't want to be a player. I mean, Big Pun. My bad. Big Pun.
But he produced it.
Not play at it. Executive
And
producer.
that was probably my biggest problem with the verses. The reaches.
The
Yeah.
reaches of his production.
Yeah.
And then the Nelly.
Nelly, hot in here. Like,
So if we bring up Hot in here right now, will the credits
Hot
say Fat Joe?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Will the
Like,
credits say Fat Joe?
and where is he going to be? Is he going to be first or is he going to be like the fifth nigga or the last nigga on the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
On the production side.
That's fine.
Because honestly, I could tell you to say, for example, he could tell him to say her instead of here on the Hot in Here song.
And not produce.
And that's
that's
producing
producing.
Yeah.
credits.
And then with the executive producing, he just paid for it.
Right.
Yeah.
He just literally just paid for the studio time. That was it.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he was reaching. I felt like that was probably my only issue.
I So yeah,
Go ahead.
no.
Okay,
Yeah.
one of my other issues with Fat Joe was, how do y'all feel about the comments he was making towards the females? Because that was also one of the big things on social media today.
Until he said they look like a crackhead, I was fine.
He said all of your girls are in the crack house.
Yeah.
No,
You gotta go
he
get
said
them out the
he
crack
said
house.
you had to go to the crack house to get them. Yes. And so for me, it's like, even the dusty ass bitches kind of,
That's like, oh god.
even the dusty ass.
A yikes.
Yeah, that's yikes for real.
So there was like, so Remy Ma defended the fact that Fat Joe said it, and I get it. That's her brother to the end of the day. Like,
Yeah, she
I
got it. She gonna
understand Remy. I understand. I feel you. But at the same time, it's like,
Someone said you had to get. They had to go to the penitentiary to get you out.
yes, like that be disrespectful. Like, granted, everybody know this nigga, short nigga over here is my nigga, and I will always defend him.
Damn.
Had to throw that in there, right?
Gotta throw the height in.
Yes,
I mean, they said that the camera adds about 10 inches.
Oh,
Nah, I'm
what camera he
he
uses?
switched it from pounds to inches.
I don't know what
Hey
camera
man,
he
I
uses.
try.
Whatever camera he using
Whatever
is,
works,
is,
right?
is wrong. But I would defend him to the day I die. Y'all come for him, y'all have to meet me first. Y'all have to meet me first. But if this nigga was to ever say what Fat Joe said on stage, I'm gonna have to check him. I'm gonna have to check him. So, like, for Remy Ma to defend, I get it. That's your brother. But at the same time, when someone says something out of pocket, and that's your homie, that's your friend, that's your family, like, you have to check. When wrong is wrong, wrong is wrong. And I felt like he just went a
When
little.
defending your friends go too far
That was one of our
That's about-
shows.
yeah.
Go back and watch that.
on Anchor.
Yes, it's on Anchor. But like, you can't just sit there and defend that he went a little too far. I feel like he didn't even go as hard on Jad.
Then he did on them.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I think the most like disrespectful thing that he said that I feel like wasn't really disrespectful. It was funny. He brought up the festival that Ja did, and I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Yes, he was like
Five
bologna
Fest.
sandwiches for everybody.
And then he was like La 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 Pooza hits and shit. Yeah.
I thought that was funny, and that was one of those low blows, but it was funny at the same time, so I didn't consider it a low blow. But I feel like he took like those low blows against the females, but it's like, you're not even going against these females; they're just featured.
But the
What
one
they
thing
do
that
to
I
you?
do. But he was saying some things that was true though. When he was like,
what did they do to you?
hold on. When he was saying that, all my people are fed.
Oh yeah,
get that.
that was Poppy verse.
All my people are
Not
fed.
even that it was
No, I
verse.
think it was a layering on. It was just like, it's just like, you come shot after shot.
Yeah, because
after
first he
shot.
said that they're dusty ass bitches, and then he said,
You call them dusty ass bitches too?
Yes.
God damn, Joe.
Yo,
Yes.
I'm gonna say
and
this.
Then he said he had to go to the crack house to get them, and then he said they wouldn't be fed. It's like, it's one after another. It was like,
Shots fired.
Listen, man. Look, man. Hold on, for real. That's New York shit. Man. And we stone each other. We niggas roasting. Niggas
I
say,
get that.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say
That's
this.
New York shit, man.
But it's a man against a woman. Like, you know what I mean? It's, I don't know.
But
Some
it's-
lines
it's-
that-
They wasn't even fighting though. That was a bad thing.
That's
about
the
it.
thing. That's the thing. That's the issue.
Yeah,
It's like, you're
it
not
was
going
not-
against these females. If you're gonna come for somebody, come for Ja, because that's the person you're going against. These females are just here because they were
Yeah.
featured on the song.
Right.
Like, why go that hard on them and not the person you're actually going against? So now, to me, it looks like you realize you don't have this battle. So you know that,
So
like,
you gonna try to make it something else.
let me go to somebody else. If I know I can't face you, I'ma go and hike on
the
somebody
next-
else.
right.
I'ma
But
go,
you know what was
Right.
killing it though, because he didn't go at Ashanti. He
He
didn't.
couldn't.
He was
Because
He also brought Ashanti a burden.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, you got to look at it. What he was saying though, everybody in his camp is fed.
that's-
Like everybody is fed. He was listing the people.
Can we actually expound on the fact that on that part right there?
Yeah.
Do
Because
y'all think that Ja Rule is able to come back from being canceled, even with this?
You mean him
That's a
being
good
canceled
question.
from the?
That's a question. That's a
He was
great.
canceled.
He's been.
He's been canceled. That cancel culture. He's
I feel like
Did-
50-50 like stomped on his career, but I feel like he really got canceled because of that Fire Festival.
Nah, that he was
No, that
already
was way
finished.
before that.
He was already
Way
finished.
before that.
He was already finished. Fire. Niggas didn't even know about Fire until it came out on Amazon.
Right, on YouTube.
That's
Yeah.
That's facts.
That's-
Netflix and
yeah.
all that.
That's
Yeah.
facts.
So do y'all think he's able to come back from that?
I think after this versus, yeah.
Yeah.
I think after this versus, he proved himself that he deserves to come back.
Yeah.
I feel like he proved himself.
He showed that he has a catalog of hits. He has a catalog of hits that's undeniable.
And
Undeniable hits. Everybody here said he won.
but also,
Everybody here said he won.
but also, you know how you. Let me say this. You know how you also
I can't
like.
wait to hear this shit.
You also watch verses and. While you're watching the verses, like, oh shit, I forgot about that song. Like,
Right,
oh
right.
shit, that was a hit.
Right.
Oh shit, I feel like we didn't have those moments with Fat Joe. We
didn't. But
with Ja, even though like I feel like a lot of the Ja songs that he did bring up, we did not forget about those. Those are still classics that people still play to this day. But he had songs that everybody was like, I know that one. That songs that people were legit singing to because they actually knew it. I feel like with Fat Joe, he had like it was like, okay, what is this? Like,
all right, so I'm gonna say this. Fat Joe, like he was saying before, it wasn't hitting the way it was supposed to hit, but he was saying facts. You know, today's hits ain't yesterday's hits.
but as Ja Rule said,
Hold on. Today's hits isn't yet. Ja Rule has classics. We're not denying anything about that. But would he be able to come out with another hit right now?
He's a
don't
singing
think
rapper.
so?
Singing rappers right now is a thing.
He's a different singing rapper. You can say 50 Cent was singing on some of his rap songs
But
too.
totally different though.
But no,
totally different.
50 was singing. 50 was singing on rap tracks. Ja Rule was singing on R&B
R&B
tracks
and pop tracks.
and rapping a little bit. The whole reason he got canceled in the first place was honestly because he couldn't out rap 50. Like 50 came in super gangster with it and was like, you know what I mean? Ja Rule,
It was
wasn't
a
balanced
fab.
enough.
It was literally a Fab Jadakiss
It was
rap.
worse than that. It was Ja
But
was 50. It
but
was
yeah,
worse.
but what I'm saying is that's how it went, and I feel like right now, it's been so long, he's not relevant.
Listen,
Even
I'ma
with
keep
this,
it real.
yeah. Let me
My
hear
bad.
this.
I don't mean to,
Nah, give it to me. Give it to me.
I honestly pause. I honestly
You all right. You all right.
I totally missed that until he said pause.
You
I
all
did
right.
not
You
get
all
that.
right. You all right.
Wow.
Nah.
My bad.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like
My bad.
I just but I just feel like Ja Rule after this, right? We all got a refresher on what Ja Rule brought to the table. You know what I'm saying? He had hits. He brought us back to a place where Ja was doing his thing. You feel me? Even the youth, the people that only knew Ja Rule as somebody who has been canceled.
Fire Festival. Most people, now might only know him for Fire Festival.
Right.
Facts.
It gave them an opportunity to say like, oh shit, the nigga was dope. You feel me? And the hits actually still ring now. Like he made time.
But there's a lot of hits that still ring now. That a lot of like they're hits.
No,
That's why they still ring.
That's the thing. Ja Rule, by just off the strength of him beating Fat Joe the way he did, he can come out with a single, put the right feature on it,
Right.
and do the right thing on it, and don't gotta really
And
do
get
it.
the
Don't really gotta
numbers.
get.
He
Don't
can get
really.
the numbers.
And it don't. He doesn't have to go too far away from what he already is at his essence.
Right.
And I think he can make something happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
feel
think
like-
he still has the energy. I think he still
Right.
has the look. He looks good for his age. You know what I mean? Like,
I wanted to get at that. Please keep going though. Please keep going though.
What you about to say? You about to say?
Because I feel like the only part that I felt like Ja really cheated on was when he took his shirt off. I was like, damn, Ja,
But it's not even that because like,
you already won. You throwing
Like,
salt on the
John,
wound
you're
at this
not doing
point.
this.
it's not even that because before intermission, like look at the Locks versus Dipset. They did not have to take an intermission point blank.
Yeah.
And Ja didn't want no intermission either.
Their energy was through and through. Fat Joe, he was huffing and puffing.
But we already know why he had to take an intermission though. He said it.
He had a wardrobe change.
Exactly. And you know why, though? You know why he had to have a wardrobe change.
Why?
You know fat niggas sweat. He had a full coat on in Madison Square Garden. We was there. We know how hot it was.
But he had a coat on after, so clearly he wasn't that
He's
hot.
still trying to lose some weight.
Clearly,
Joey Crack.
moving on.
Make
Moving
fat
on.
guys look less fat.
Crack some pounds.
But
on.
moving on. But I feel like also regardless, take off your jacket. Look at Joel Santana. He came out with the coat on.
He came out with that.
Even though nothing he was wearing was matching, but he came out with a coat on. Nigga got too hot. What you do? Take it off. He took off his layers. The 500 layers that he had on, he took them off because he was getting hot and his energy was more important than what he was wearing. Fat Joe could have done the same thing. He really didn't need that intermission. And I feel like that shows a lot on his energy. And because like Ja did not want that intermission. He was like, nah, let's keep going.
Right.
And even when Ja was playing his last song before the intermission, Fat Joe was already gone off the stage, disappeared. Stage left. My dude was out. And Ja Rule was on that stage by himself getting it in. So I'm like, come on now.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. Like Fat Joe, it was such like because we all felt like Fat Joe was gonna win. I
did not.
Well, you're the enigma of the group, but I thought that like I really thought that like Fat Joe was gonna like how we were saying like, damn, you remember that song with Fat Joe, and every song like you just started to realize he has a lot of he's on a lot of feature songs. He doesn't have a lot of songs for himself,
And I feel like most of all of his hits were the featured one, not his actual ones.
Right.
That he was able to play for this verse battles. I feel like if he had just focused on his features.
He would would have got crucified. Because he doesn't
there was no way of him.
Yeah, there was nothing for him.
He doesn't have enough for the.
Even though he has longevity, there was nothing for him to really like. It wasn't enough. It was great songs versus good songs, and the great songs won. Right. And even when Ja took it to the streets a little bit, I was a little surprised because I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I wasn't doing this back in the day though. I ain't gonna lie. I was straight 50. Like
that's the thing, man. If Ja would have had more street hits, man, that 50 battle wouldn't have been so lopsided. He could have pulled a Drake versus Meek Mills. Honestly, the difference between Ja and Drake is that Ja isn't as balanced as Drake. Drake won off of rapping, even though he was a singing nigga. Ja couldn't do that. Ja started out with X and Jay-Z. Those hits were dope. Those street hits, but he got away from it. And then, you know what I'm saying?
But he did what he knew. He did what the audience wanted him to do,
At
right?
the time.
You know,
But
he sung for the females.
You gotta read the room, and that's what Ja did. He
Yeah,
read
no
the
facts.
room.
No.
But no. We're not talking about the versus battle.
Yeah.
We're talking about just period.
In his
career. But do you feel like the price went down on Fat Joe? Yesterday's price ain't
Today's price.
Yo,
But in the sense of they meant it.
Y'all flagrant.
That's a good question.
Flagrant.
I don't think his price went down. I feel like his price stayed the same.
I feel like
Because of the whole fact that like it also became a roast battle. It became a roast battle.
He's a good
Fat
host.
Joe is good at roasting and he's good at like hosting, like you're saying. He's good at like getting the people riled up.
Because I couldn't care less for I could care less for Pretty Lou. I'm not gonna lie, I could care less for him. But if Fat Joe was doing all that, I'd be cool with it. It was just that, you know.
So I feel like Fat Joe price did not go down because
I feel it went down. His rap price went down.
Okay,
He is not booking a show.
So the rap price, yes. The rap price went down, but overall, Fat Joe, the person, I feel like his overall price didn't go down because he still kept true to his roasting. His personality stayed the same on stage.
Yeah,
but
he
the
was still
music wise, I feel like we realized he wasn't as valuable musically than we thought he was.
I can't agree.
I feel like the price went down.
No.
Like
I feel
Yeah,
like his
Janelle
price
talk.
went up. I feel like his price went up because if Ja's price goes up, so does Fat Joe's price. It's residual. It is residual. It is. It just is. No, I think it is. No, I think it is.
And that's not to you. That's to Fat Joe. his
we still
stuff.
love you, Fat Joe. Don't get that wrong.
He's still the people's. It's just that, and I'm
Don Cartagena.
yeah, like I still appreciate what you brought to the culture. I still appreciate what you brought to the verses. But I'm not gonna. I don't feel like we're ever gonna see a Fat Joe and a Little Baby. Like I don't feel like we're gonna see Fat Joe and Moneybag Yo. We're not gonna see a Fat Joe.
And the Travis Scott.
We're not seeing none of that.
Well, what? But
His
y'all
best
not
features
talking
are
about
with
Ja.
women, though.
Do y'all think Ja's price went up?
I feel like Ja proved that
His value that he had already?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he proved that like he's deserving of his flowers. Like I feel like we kind of low key slept on him.
Yeah.
Because
I
of the
agree.
whole 50 Cent beef with Ja and 50 Cent ribbed Ja.
Yeah, we shut him out. We shut him out after
So
that.
yeah. So but I feel like Ja came out and proved himself that he deserved his flowers.
Right.
Because even with songs that like he even wrote and featured, like songs with J-Lo and the song with Mary, I was like, yo,
Yeah,
he deserved that. Like,
But how do you feel about him saying that he wrote Jay-Z's verse on that?
I don't
I didn't hear that. I don't think he said. I gotta listen to that again.
I think he was saying that he wrote his part on it. He wrote it.
Who? Ja's part? Like, why would you say?
Ja was saying that he wrote his own part on that. He's like, I wrote that.
No, but that's Ja's song. It's not Jay-Z's song. It's Ja's song. And he's saying that Jay-Z, he wrote Jay-Z's part on the hook.
You know what? If he did do it, Ja's the one person that should say that he did it.
I need Jay-Z to clarify this.
Listen, I'm just saying.
You got 24 hours to respond.
Look, if
he wrote that song.
If that's true, he's the one nigga that needs he's the one person that needs to say that he did. Okay. Because of the position that he's in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't do it if I was under Rock Nation.
Okay.
You know, still trying to turn out albums or anything like that.
Yeah.
But for him, shit,
I mean,
I would love some new music from Ja Rule.
You would listen to
Ashanti
it.
too. I would.
Them together.
Well, the thing about it is, Ashanti has been trying to put out new music, and we just don't care for it. Like, you gotta understand. Like, you're saying, yes.
Yeah, she did put out a song, and I really wasn't.
Yeah, you gotta understand.
Her verses, she put out played new music on her verses.
She's been trying. She's been trying to pull like for years. Like, I'm not even before the verse battle. She's been trying to put out music. And that's when like she came out with the whole new like body, and I was like, "Ooh!"
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Looking snacky.
I need to look into the camera.
Yes.
Right now. Whoever was working the switchboard during the time Nelly was walking over to Ashanti, you had one job. To keep that camera live. You did not have to switch that camera once he got to Ashanti. We was trying to see their interaction. You had one job. One job.
I feel like the girls cared more than the niggas did.
You felt,
they did. They did.
Felt us. You felt us.
They did. Because I ain't really care.
Yeah,
our nosy asses, my nosy asses.
They wanted to be petty.
They wanted to be petty. They wanted to watch what's, you know, what's the reaction.
It wasn't even about being petty. It was getting the tea.
It was getting.
That's not petty. That doesn't have
We
to
care for the tea. They
care
don't.
for the tea.
And I'm proud to say I was caring for that tea. Once I saw him walk over, I was like,
right.
Somebody got an angle though, so you know we'll see it one day.
Well, yeah, it'll come out.
Somebody has an angle.
Somebody.
But
if you do have the angle,
But all right, who do you think, since we all agree Fat Joe was way overmatched with Ja Rule, who do you think Fat Joe should have went up against?
Question. Go ahead. Sean.
Yeah, you answer.
You know what's crazy? We were talking about this earlier, and I don't have an answer still.
That's right. I don't know.
We don't have an answer. We don't.
Who Fat Joe would have went up against? I really don't know.
Yeah.
Really don't know. Maybe y'all can help us.
Right. Well, who do you think, E?
So we're going off of like the era, right? From 90 and who still somewhat has like records now. And I'm the only person that I could really come up with
Funny. This is why that was mad funny. Like
is
Oh Lord.
Busta.
Busta?
Busta Rhymes.
I feel like him and Missy would be the perfect matchup.
Busta versus Missy. Yeah, I agree with that.
Nah.
I don't know about Busta versus John.
Busta.
I
Missy
don't
would,
agree with Busta versus Missy because you still want to keep the male on male, female on female.
Yeah.
Because technically men rap about different things than female rap about.
Yeah, but
I'm just talking
Busta's
about
their
their
vibe.
creative artistry.
But
No,
I still agree.
Yeah, I still think
if we're
that
going
it
man
should
versus
be man versus man, female versus female.
Right.
We need to keep it.
I think so because Busta is really that dope to the point where he can go blow for blow, pound for pound with another heavy hitting
can.
artist, like a heavyweight artist.
Yeah, so I would say it would be Busta.
Busta versus Fat Joe, and it's gonna be the same result, probably worse.
I kind of want to ask.
Maybe worse, you know what I mean?
I kind of want to ask who y'all think will go against Ja Rule, but I feel like
There's only one person.
there's only one
There's
person.
only one person that we want to see.
That would be the most horrific thing for that man's career.
Yeah, he would never.
Not only
a
that, but
nightmare
I
all
feel like
over
it
you.
would be a catastrophe,
Yeah.
violence-wise.
Yes.
We need to.
Violence wise?
We need to keep
all
it
you
safe.
all you see is or all you'll hear is
That's the only way that he could literally beat 50. He would have to beat 50.
the only way he can beat 50 would be dropping a bomb
on the fucking Madison Square Garden.
That's it. Because everything else, 50 is gonna just keep hitting him with hits after hit after hit. There's nothing that Ja can do.
Because unlike Joe, 50 street hits hit way harder.
But that's the thing, and the thing about it is like Fat Joe street hits. If this was like 90,
96, 98, 99.
yeah, that would have like. But you're looking for people that's like 45 and up to really understand his street hits.
That's
those
facts.
mixtapes that he had back then. The mixtapes back,
So for 50, would you count if he played some of like the Eminem hits that he produced, or the like?
He doesn't need to do that.
He doesn't even need to.
Yeah.
Because 50 can play. 50 can
But
play
I mean,
like
for the younger, because you like we said, the street hits for Ja, you had to be a little older.
I'll put it like this, right? What happened when Jada started playing his street hits?
Right.
Yeah.
The younger crowd, went back to listen because those hits were classics.
Yeah, and I
When
feel like it's
50
kind of an embarrassment if he playing these classic hits that everybody's like, yo, this hit go hard, and you don't know it. I feel like,
But it's not an embarrassment because the thing about it is, it's the younger crowd. The younger crowd's not really researching 50 or like Jada Kiss at that time or at this time right now. They're not doing that. So if they were to do that, like they'll see and they're like, damn, that shit was dope. Yeah. And they'll start and he'll have a big, nice little uptick in his sales again.
His sales and his streams again. Yep.
Excuse me.
I agree.
That's fast.
Don't need 50 in game. 50 in game.
50 in the game.
Yeah,
I feel like that would be a massacre. That would be
50
a
still want to
50,
win.
yeah,
50 still want to win, but I think
Yeah.
that would be a good one for the culture.
for the culture.
Yeah, because then they could do a song together at the end.
Who can 50 go up against where we're
50's
like,
too
it's not
petty
a
though.
basket.
Like he's not gonna
He is
do.
super petty.
Yeah, like
He's
I
probably not
love.
gonna- he's probably not
I
gonna-
will pay to. I will.
Yeah.
We will pay to
Any
go see
verses
that.
that 50,
Yeah.
50
Yeah, we going.
does, I'm going to be in that
Yeah.
building. Like,
Well, he was the original troll. Like, think about it. He trolled.
created
Ja
trolling.
Rule's
Right.
career out of
He
out of
created-
He
business.
literally had a doll of Ja Rule in the end of the Winkster video and threw it in the trash.
Yo, and that was his first video.
No chill, no chill, no chill, no
Oh
chill.
man, I love
50 Cent
50.
created
I love
trolling.
50. I love
He
50.
is the
Before social
Absolutely.
media, though. Before
Right.
social media.
And that's why I say he created.
Yeah.
Like, if you was to Google trolling, 50 Cent picture will pop up because
Yeah.
he is the creator, the author, the finisher of trolling.
Yeah.
Like, that's his.
So I'll say this: what was the best part of the verse battle for y'all?
I think my highlight was probably definitely the special appearances. I think it was definitely the special appearance.
Which one?
Bringing
though?
out Rim first was perfect.
Okay.
It was perfect. It set the tone, right? It literally got us hyped. Like it was the perfect moment to bring Rim out. So, and then you're talking about
Agreed,
Little Mo
agreed.
next, and then Vita, and then finally
could've
Ashanti.
stayed on
Wait,
Vita.
oh no, I'm sorry, Nelly, and then
He could
Ashanti.
have saved on Vita. But
Yeah, he could.
You know what?
I would have taken Charlie over Vita. I would definitely take Charlie over Vita. But I also do agree that the features were definitely good. I love the way they ended it.
Yeah.
The New York
York.
song.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be
And
my
then
number two.
having Jada come out, like they each
Yeah.
did their own rhyme. Like Fat Joe did his verse on it, Ja Rule did his verse on it, and then
Right.
Jada came out and did his verse on it. Like how they ended it was like perfect. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, because I love the fact that they also showed that we could go back and forth but still have love for one another. And that's like that whole aspect of it. I loved it. Like I could still hike on you. We could have this roast battle to the end of time, but we still love each other. We're still brothers. We're still unity at the end of the day. So for me to see that, like I loved how they ended it overall.
I agree with both of y'all.
Definitely, because my highlight was Jada. I was like, oh
Jada
shit.
is the MVP
Oh,
of the verses.
I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, that's it.
But you know what was funny, because I heard Jada. I heard Jada before he came out. I'm like, that's Jada Kid's voice. That's Jada Kid's, like, because he was also like doing the ad lib for, like, as they were saying their verses, he was saying that, like, the little ad lib part, and I'm like, that's Jada. That's Jada. Jada's finna come out. That's Jada right there. Like, that's Jada. And then when he
Yeah.
came out, I'm like,
I was hyped.
Right.
I was hyped. I
Well,
was
that's
definitely-
one person's price. We know we can't deny went up.
Yeah.
let us know in the comment. We want to hear from y'all. We'll definitely be responding and referring. Please go check out our Instagram at The New Normal. That's where you will find our YouTube link to watch our live podcast. But also, if you want to listen to us on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, wherever, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast, you'll find our Anchor link. You will also find our individual Instagram links. You will find it there. And also Twitter. We're on Twitter at The New Normal. So go check us out. And as we grow, we want you guys to grow with us. So if you have small businesses that y'all want shouted out, yo, we're here to shout you guys out. Just DM us. We'll see it. We're here. As we grow, you guys grow.
Like,
Love
comment,
y'all.
subscribe.
Like, comment,
Yes,
share.
yes.
Share,
subscribe.
and subscribe.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Subscribe first.
Yes. And, again, thank you all for listening. And this is.
This is the new Normal Podcast.
Good night.